It's going to tank your credit score. You're going to blow up your utilization rate. It may stop you from being able to obtain other credit, other loans, a higher credit limit. I got a couple of calls saying, yo, Joe, I looked at my Chase statement, my credit reports. So that's the Chase Inc. Unlimited, Chase Inc. Cash, Chase Inc. Preferred, and even including some United business cards and Southwest business cards showing up on their personal credit side. Anybody who had a statement closing on February 26th and after were showing.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Calvin Russell here. Super excited to bring you all some very important information. Okay, listen, it's some major things happening at Chase Bank, and you all need to know about this right now. Okay, so if you or anyone you know has an account with Chase Bank, tell them about this video. All right, but either way, I'm going to go ahead and bring in my special guest. Listen, he's been on the channel quite a few times. You all love to hear him bring the gems that he has, but he has some information that even I did not know about. All right, let's go ahead and bring him on in. Joe, can you hear us okay?
How you doing, Calvin? I can hear you loud and clear, Pod. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely, Joe. Absolutely. Listen, I saw that you were talking about something the other day. And once I verified this information, I just couldn't believe that it was happening and that it's affecting so many people that actually have an account with Chase Bank. Okay. So, here, tell everybody what's going on, Joe.
Sure. So this past Saturday, March 1st, I got a couple of calls and texts and emails saying, yo, Joe, I looked at my Chase statement, not only my statement, but my credit reports and
Yeah.
my Chase Inc. business cards. So that's the Chase Inc. Unlimited, Chase Inc. Cash, Chase Inc. Preferred, and even including some United business cards and Southwest business cards showing up on their personal credit side.
Mm,
Now, some people might say, well, you know, why does that matter?
mm,
Here's the thing. If you open up a business card for what it's intended, and that's what I want people to really understand, a business card isn't just to, like people like to say, earn and burn the points, be able to travel, this and that. No, you need to be able to use it for what's intended. So if you have a business that has a lot of camera equipment to use, that's what you should be using, not on your personal credit card. Put it on a business card. Keep things separate. So it happened that for whatever reason, anybody who had a statement closing on February 26th and after were showing Chase business cards showing up on their personal credit side. Now, here's why that's a problem.
If you're looking to get funding for your business with no minimum credit score required, this includes term loans, equipment finance, and even fix and flip loans as well. To learn more, scan this QR code or click the link in the description below. Now back to the video.
Let's say you have two personal credit cards, an Amex Green and a Wells Fargo autograph, and you got a $10,000 credit limit. Fine. Now you have a real business that's generating business spend, and you have $20,000 on credit cards because you just bought new equipment or whatever it was for your place. And now all of a sudden, that $20,000 shows up on your personal credit side.
Hmm.
You're going to blow up your utilization rate. It's going to tank your credit score, and it may stop you from being able to obtain other credit, other loans, a higher credit limit, things of that nature.
Right.
So, and Chase hasn't put out any information about this on their website or any bulletins or anything like that.
Hmm.
This came about because some people reached out on Reddit, and Reddit seems to be the place that a lot of people in this credit card space, go in and put down their data points to see what other people are doing.
Right.
And for the past week, a lot of people were complaining. Now, when I really started to take note was within different discords that I'm a part of, Anthony Venture, Sledges, my own, and people saying, yeah, Joe, this is real. It hit us as well.
Right.
Then I looked at the people that have been in the game a long time. Um, you have the Doctor of Credit, Sean Miles to Memories,
Yeah.
Danny the Deal Guru.
Yeah.
And when you look at these big guys in the game and they're saying the same thing, I say, okay, now it's
Mm,
it's a real thing. The
yeah.
funny thing is, Saturday night about 11 o'clock, one of my viewers, he has my phone number. He hits me up. He goes, "Yo, bro, three out of the four cards of my wife's business cards showed up on our personal credit."
Mm,
So there is one thing that ties everything together, I think. There's nothing still concrete, but I'm going to be real honest with you. It seems to be affecting the people that opened up these credit cards using their social security number
mm,
and not an EIN through an LLC, but basically people that opened it as a sole proprietor using their
right.
social. Okay.
Mm,
Now, there's nothing wrong with opening a business card with your social.
right.
However, if these banks, and you know this better than anybody else in this,
Yeah.
these cards have a guarantee behind it, right?
That's right. Yeah.
And they want to get paid. So they always look, if it's your first business card they're opening up and your business is less than a year old, they look at your personal credit history first before they offer you that card and
Right.
give you a credit limit, right? So Chase, it seems, now some people were saying, is it a glitch? So what I did yesterday, and yesterday being Monday, March 3rd,
Yeah.
I went to my local branch and I was lucky enough, and I want the viewers to understand this. The reason I was able to walk into my local branch was because I had a banking relationship with them.
Mm,
A banking relationship is huge, especially if you have a small business, if you have a lot of money, invested with them, or in savings accounts and things of that nature.
right.
So I was able to go in, and I was able to actually, I have the recording that I'm working on and shortening it up a little bit, but I had everything recorded on my phone. They had no
Wow.
idea. So I
Mm.
met with the vice president of the branch.
Real quick, if you're looking for a way to lower your car payment with a soft pull, this means no effect on your credit score to see your interest rate and terms. If you decide to move forward, then they will do a hard pull. And they have competitive interest rates, and this is something that you can get an instant decision on right away. To learn more, scan the QR code or click the link in the description below. Now back to the video. Mm,
And the first thing out of her mouth was, "That's impossible." I said,
mm,
"No, it's possible." She goes, "Well,
mm.
how do you know?" I said, "Here are all my text, emails, data points,
Yep.
articles
Wow.
showing that it's not only affecting the ink cards, but some of your co-branded cards for airlines and hotels and so on."
Wow.
So I want the viewers to understand, to please, you don't know if it's a glitch, how long it's going to take to fix.
Right.
Also, within this time frame and this window that's out there, if other things that you have coming up, a loan, a car loan, or other things that a mortgage that you were thinking of opening up, whatever, it's springtime is around the corner. A lot of things happen for people in the spring, more
Right.
spend, more home renovations, things like that. So if your credit score is taking a hit and you're not checking your score or checking your reports and see what's being added to it, you're not doing yourself a favor,
Right.
because Chase isn't going to go out and say, "Hey, Calvin, by the way, we screwed up and we put your business cards and your $25,000 in spend over on your personal side. My
Mm,
bad. I'm going to undo it." But what they
right.
don't tell you is undoing it with the credit bureaus could take 60 days, 90 days, and so on.
Right.
And then you're trying to sign up and get another card, or you're trying to buy some stuff for your business, and they're going to be like, "Yo, we can't give it to you because you've exceeded your limits."
Right. Mm,
And
wow.
that's the terrifying part. So, I'm not here to cry wolf. I'm not saying the sky is
Yeah.
falling. I actually went out to the bank. I also spoke to their investment manager at the bank yesterday. He goes, "Joe, I wonder if it was like fraud or scams." I said, I could see where some people would say that if it wasn't so just generated around cards that were social security numbers used for the most part, sole
Yeah.
proprietorship listed, and it's these particular cards that it seems to be affecting people. And some
Right.
people, so the woman also said this, and this blew me away. She said, I said, "Do me a favor, can you please call corporate for me?"
Mm,
Calvin, I kid you not, she calls corporate for me right in front of me.
mhm.
And then she goes, "Oh, only if it's in default will it show?" And I look at her, and then she finishes the conversation, hangs up, and I said, none of my people were in default. As a matter of fact, they
That's
sent me
right.
screenshots where they had zero balance.
Right.
But now
Wow.
all of a sudden, their ink cards are showing up with their personal Wells Fargo autograph card or their American
Mm.
Express green or gold card, you know? So
Yeah.
it, and mind you, these are people that are doing things the right way. So
That's right.
these weren't people, the earn and burn people. These are legit
Yeah.
businesses,
Yeah. That are using their cars the right way.
the way intended, right?
Right.
So, I want people to understand that a bank as massive as the largest one is Chase can make these errors.
Yeah.
I don't think it was on purpose, obviously.
Yeah.
It
Intentional.
still
Yeah.
could be a glitch that
Right.
maybe, the algorithms of the computers read the social security numbers as personal cards and then just threw them on the personal accounts. Could be.
Mhm.
But what was funny was when she's the VP and she actually says to me, if this was something that was a new program or some changes in the bank, I would have known about it first.
Mm.
And I said, well, Ms. Burgos, the thing is
Yeah.
that my viewers actually called the number on the back of the card. And depending on who they got on the other end, they
Mm.
were told it could be a glitch. They were told it's new now with Chase that your business credit will show up on your personal credit because you know who does that? Capital One.
Wow. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's
With the
not
spark.
new.
Yeah.
It's not a new thing, right?
Yeah.
Capital One does it. So but if you're opening up a Capital One business card, you go into it knowing that that's what they're going to do.
Already. Yeah.
So the choice is yours.
Absolutely.
If you want to do it, fine. But with Chase, if they're telling you it's not going to show, and like she even told me, she goes, the only thing that you will see on your first application for the most part is the credit inquiry. And I get that.
Mm.
That makes sense. They're going to pull it
Yeah.
from where you have credit for the first time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I'm
Wow.
waiting for them to get back to me. She was supposed to have a Zoom call today with other regional VPs, and she
Yeah.
was going to bring this up to them because she said, look, if it's as big as you claim, and then when I showed her, she goes, I had no idea about this. But she
Wow.
remembered conversations I've had with her over the last couple of years. They're a neighborhood bank in the community, which is what I
Yeah.
love about them.
Yeah.
And I told her that. She remembered a conversation, like even with my little Superman chain here. So the gentleman from the investment side goes, yo, that's bad. And I go, she goes, oh, his students got him that because of his father. And I saw that 2 years ago. But
Yeah.
she remembered. And that's why I tell people the relationship you build with these institutions is huge because you never know when you could pick up the phone. I'd rather be known as Joe. Hey, Pop, how's it going?
Yeah.
Than,
Yeah.
excuse me, what is this about? And then they're
Yeah.
automatically on defense. No, bro, I literally have my phone in front of them like this while I'm
Yeah.
recording the whole
Yeah.
conversation. So, it was helpful for that reason. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping the
Wow.
viewers really do take a look this week and look at your accounts and look at your credit reports and see what's reporting to them, especially if you have those business cards.
Let's talk further about that, Joe. Now, let me ask you this. When did you start like seeing this, or like when did you start at having the conversation with your viewers or just people that you know in the space? When did you start noticing this, and what things should people start looking for?
So Friday night, that was February what, 28th, was
Yeah.
the first time I saw it come up on some Discord chats and things of that nature. But like everything else, like you, Calvin, I don't jump at the first thing. There's
Yeah.
one thing that I say always, I hate speculation. So I waited it out. And then I saw that some of the bigger bloggers and people in the space, like I said, Doctor of Credit, that's very well respected,
Yeah.
was bringing it up. And I said, okay, let me bring it up. So I literally on Sunday made the video about the ink train because that's what they called it. And the reason they call it the ink
Mm.
train is because ink cards can give you anywhere from 75,000 to 100,000 points. And Chase Ultimate Rewards points are one of the most valuable out there. So by opening a credit card, a business card, no annual fee for no APR for the first year, either no annual fee or $95 annual fee for a card, and you're getting all those points back. A lot of people just open multiples of them to get the points so that they could travel or cash out or whatever. And so what I decided to do was, after I dropped the video and I saw all the interest it was garnering, and people from across the country telling me, yo, my wife's account just got hit. Yo, I only had one card, and all of a sudden, February 27th, it shows up on my closing date. And I said, okay. So then yesterday, I went to the bank to just get to the bottom of it. I could have let it just go by, but I'd rather
Yeah.
have the answers for the people legitimately. And
Mhm.
I know people that are going to watch this are going to go, oh, you just went to the branch, or they're just a branch VP. Yeah, it's a branch VP who
Mhm.
called their corporate connection
That's right.
in New York in front of me that I have
Yeah.
recorded. If any, and I'm going to post it. People might get
Yeah.
bored to death by it, but they're going to hear me say, hello, is Andres still here? Oh, he's not here today. I asked for the other woman that I dealt with in the past. She was out that day. And that's how it just kept going. And I have it all
Right.
there because I
Wow.
want people to understand
Yeah.
that it was serious. It was something
Yeah.
that I wanted to make sure wasn't just fluff.
Right.
And I wanted to get to the bottom of it, to be honest with you.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's very important, Joe, because I mean, it's not, first off, we appreciate, all of what you're doing out here. Not just for people obviously watching the channel, but there are people who have accounts, with these banks, like you just mentioned. They need to know about those types of things, because had they known that in advance, and like you said, doing something like this is not something new. I mean, Capital
Right.
One does it for sure.
Yeah.
However, you still want to make sure that, hey, listen, that's the whole point of me trying to get that particular card, is so it wouldn't be showing up on my personal credit. That most definitely is going to, throw off people's utilization, for sure. Listen, guys, first off, again, let us know inside the comment section below if you all are seeing, something like this, for sure. Okay, so keep that in mind. If you guys are seeing something like that inside the comment section, let us know that, as well. All right. And then, Joe, that wasn't the only thing that you was talking about, as well. You had mentioned something else as well too. Okay, so you had mentioned that, even outside of just that piece. And by the way, before we go to the next segment, was that the last thing that you wanted to go into? I'm sorry, was that it with that process? Is there anything else we should know, about what Chase is doing right now?
Well, what I would tell people, Chase is still working on it. They haven't
Yeah.
come up, and I should get this call later on today as we go to record this. It's the 4th at 2:30.
Okay.
Um, but what I would say is that do yourselves the favor, because what the VP told me at the bank, whatever ink card you have or business card of Chase, if it's a co-branded hotel card or airline card, call the
Yeah.
number in the back and put them, so that this way they have on record that you made the call, that this is showing up. So that if there
Mm,
is a glitch, then now you're almost on that wait list, right? Where they're going to go through
yeah.
the people that have made the complaints first, as
Right.
opposed to then they're going to have to go through the whole system, and God knows how long that's going to take.
Right.
Because the concern is, even if they reverse course, and I can tell you this from first hand experience, back in December, Venmo opened up a card that I never applied for, and they
Mm,
said, we're going to remove it from your credit report as an inquiry. It just dropped last
yeah.
week at the end of February. So
Right.
from December to February, I was still carrying this stuff on my report that should have
Yeah.
never been there in the first place. And that's
Right.
me doing the homework and me being on top of things.
Right.
So call the number on the back of your card. Make sure you get the name of the person you spoke with. Note the time. I'm a real pain in the neck with that. Note the
Yeah.
time, note the date, and I always request one thing whenever I call to question something, and that is,
Yeah.
do me a favor, note on my account right now what we discussed, and is there an ID number for this call that I can record. This way I
Yeah.
have it as a receipt almost on my
Yeah.
end.
Got
So
you. Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense, especially doing that for sure. And listen, thanks. First off, everyone watching this, of course, this is why we bring Joe here, to give us the information that people need to know. He's always keeping his ear on the ground, but he's not just getting the information. He's stopping by the bank branch, okay, and talking to management and such, just making sure, that things are what they should be. Now, there was also something else I want to go into. It's a New Year's 2025. What are some things that people, when they're filling out a credit card application, what are some things that they never want to do, when they're filling out that credit card application?
there's a couple, and I'm glad you brought this up because
Yeah.
I get the call, I get the question all the time. I'm gonna apply, help me fill it out.
Yeah.
Okay. Now if you're making 50 to $60,000 a year and you live
Yeah.
by yourself,
Yeah.
don't put you make $150,000 a year thinking that that's going to better your odds. The
Yeah.
moment they pull your social, even on
Yeah.
a soft pull, if it like if you do a pre qualification, on an application,
Yeah.
instantly they're going to see your accounts. They're going to
Yeah.
see your income. They're going to see what you so don't do that.
Yeah.
This is the way you go about doing that. If
Yeah.
you now work and your spouse works, and let's
Yeah.
say you have a child that's 20 years old and they work, and all of you pay for the house, pay for the things, and your money's kind of combined.
Yeah.
If you notice on an application, it's going to say household income.
Yeah.
That's the number, the total number you put there.
They right.
So you could put
Absolutely.
your 50 or 60,000, your wife's 50
Yep.
or 60,000, your kids 40,000. That's okay, because they're going to go to, when they pull the file again, everybody
Right.
who lives at that address and who applies there is going to be there.
Yeah.
So that's one.
Yeah.
If you're older, and I'm the oldest one doing this, so I have to laugh. But if
Yeah.
you retired,
Yeah.
do not put retired. Don't.
Mm.
I used to think that it was like this badge of honor because my dad did it. And
Yeah.
years ago, when my dad did it, he got slam dunked. And my dad was bringing home on a pension as a New
Mm.
York City bus driver about
Yeah.
$70,000 a year.
Man, back when pensions used to pay on time.
Yes. So him putting
Good
retired,
pensions.
they don't see the dollar value. They see retired, which for
Yeah.
them means no more income coming in.
Right. Right.
And
Yeah.
you still might get the card,
Yeah.
but why are you going to apply for a card and
And
get
you're
a
retired.
$500 credit limit like you're a
Right.
sophomore in college on a credit
Right. Just
card?
starting out. Exactly. Exactly.
That's the
Wow.
problem.
Yeah.
So do not click or check off retired, because
Yeah.
to be honest with you, if you're getting your pension, you're getting money. If you're doing other work that doesn't report, because
Yeah.
let's say I work for New York City. So
Yeah.
if I worked in New York City again, I can only make a certain number of amount of money. I think it's $32,000. If not, then they
Yeah.
halt my pension, right?
Yeah.
But in Jersey, doesn't matter. So
Okay.
for me, I can earn whatever in New Jersey, and I'm working now actually part time. And this, my YouTube channel also generates income. So that's work. So
Yeah.
I total all of that and put that into my
Yeah.
applications. So
Wow.
don't hurt yourself by putting retired or anything of that nature,
Yeah.
And even still, if you are retired, it's the household income in general still. So if your
Right.
wife is still working, if your partner's still working, kids, whoever's home, that all counts.
That's right. That's right. But thanks for letting us know that as well too, Joe, because a lot of people they apply and they try to figure out why they're getting denied or they're not sure what to put. Like there are some people, they want to get a certain card, but they feel like, okay, I am retired or and I just don't know and exactly know what to do. So that most definitely was helpful for sure. And please keep us updated as well with the Chase Bank situation as well too, because we don't know if it is a glitch, but how many people would you say have said that they have been affected by this or have seen this in the
Me
last 30
personally,
days or
just
so?
on the comments alone and
Yeah.
calls and text in the
Yeah.
last 2 days, me personally, only 100, at least
100.
100.
Wow.
Because then I had people within the same household that their spouses were having, so they both had the issues, right?
Yeah.
So
Wow.
I'm not even going based on articles on Reddit or Doctor of Credit or
Yeah.
any of that stuff. So
Yeah.
I can
Wow.
tell you a lot of people, but I wanted to give you one last hack for, we talk about credit card applications that a
Let's
lot of
go.
people are not aware of, and this is gold.
Yeah.
So you know how you could do the pre-qualifications, especially Capital One has one that they promote a lot.
Yeah.
And when they apply,
Yeah.
keep your eyes open. Capital One
Yeah.
has different versions of their same card
Yeah.
for good credit, for excellent credit, and so on.
Yeah.
If you do the pre-qualification and they're telling you Congratulations, you got approved. You're pre-approved for, the saver card for good credit.
Yeah.
You're not going to get the sign-up bonus. You're not going to get the best interest rate. You're not going to get the multipliers the same as everybody else. So you have to look at what you're applying for. And once you apply, you're done. If you accept the card, that's yours. They're not going to change the product that same day or later. The other thing is, Amex told me this last year. Amex also does pre-qualifications. If they tell you you don't pre-qualify right now, wait 31 days, because what Amex told me, which was gold,
Yeah.
she said, if you tried it today and you try it again next week, it resets the clock. The acceptance and the approval is not coming any quicker.
Wow. Yeah.
And she sent me to the site on Amex that I was able to see
Yeah.
all the times I was calling for these cards, because I was doing it for the channel.
Yeah.
And she goes, Mr. Barreto, wait 31 days. And sure enough, on the 31st day, then
Yeah.
it clears up. And then you reset at zero. So you don't
Right.
want to overwhelm that algorithm, because then you look thirsty to them.
Right.
And you don't want to look thirsty to,
Don't want to be, yeah, listen, don't want to be thirsty out here for
not
sure.
at all. Nope, not at all. So I hope that
Gotcha.
helps everyone.
No, it most definitely does, Joe. It most definitely does, per usual. Listen, let us know in the comment section if you all have been impacted by what Joe has been talking about. Please let us know. And if you haven't been impacted, let us know that as well too. We want to
Yeah.
see, is it a growing trend? Are they fixing the issue? Are enough people complaining about this? We'll most definitely, look to get this information out as soon as possible for sure. And as always, Joe, greatly appreciate you, taking out the time to share this information with us as well. And listen, guys, I'm going to put Joe's information down here at the bottom of the screen. Make sure you guys, if you haven't done so already, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to his channel. So not only to keep up with this particular story, but he's always talking about, certain credit cards, in general. Okay. But listen, Joe, we greatly appreciate you taking out your time today. And we greatly appreciate you stopping by the channel.
Thank you, Calvin. I appreciate you as always. God bless you, my friend. Thank you for the opportunity. And I thank your viewers. They've been amazing with me, and I really appreciate them. If you guys ever have any questions, hit me up.
Yeah.
I'm there for you.
There you go. Thanks again, Joe. Until
Thanks.
next
Take
time.
care. You got it.